What up, is Marcus? I had a busy Tuesday here, so guess what? We're going to give you a couple minutes of waiver wire. I want to make sure that we talk about waivers, we talk about fat budget here. The biggest one are running backs. We had Saquon Barkley hurt for I think, 2 to 3 weeks. You have Nicholas Chubb with a horrible knee injury. We'll have to see what is going to come up with, if it's going to be Jerome Ford, if it's going to be a couple other running backs that we're going to talk about here. So Kyren Williams was a player that I talked about last week. I do think that at this point, I spent $11 and got him in Fab. I think you're going to have to spend that $35 to $50 range to get one of these running backs, and that's Kyren Williams. I think Ford might even be into that 35 to 50 range, and Moss might be a little bit of a cheaper option. In fact, Ford might even be $60 to the Chubb owner. So you just running backs are such a desperate need right now. So I said 35 to 50, but it's really kind of like 40 to 65 actually is a better shift in perspective here. But Kyren Williams, Jerome Ford is, I think, the best option here. It's the riskiest option. Kyren Williams is the safest option, and then you have Moss as a third option. Other running backs, you still have Justice Hill, Gus Edwards. Look and see if they're available. Probably not. And then two other players that I want to talk about that right now are kind of in the handcuff range, but could be starters. You have Roschon Johnson, who has looked well, again, on a team that is very big and struggling. I think these are, again, more of a dollar bets. And then you have Jaylen Warren, who looked better than Najee Harris, which is really weird because Najee Harris was a super talented running back coming out of Alabama, and he has looked absolutely horrible. And then Jaylen Warren has just looked better right now. I don't know what's going on in Pittsburgh to make that happen, but again, these are some dollar bets that if your waiver claim, I mean, literally it's like Kyren and Ford and Moss, and if you get later into the waiver claim, especially in redraft, you're talking about Roschon and Warren might be there, might not be. We have some wide receivers as well. Nico Collins had a big game, likely going to be taken, or likely was already drafted or gone, and so does Tutu Atwell. I mean, he's had a couple good weeks, and I think Tutu Atwell goes away once Cooper Kupp comes back. I'm not even going to talk about Puka because Puka is already gone, and I would assume every league. Reynolds, though, is another interesting option. Jameson Williams, we don't know if he's going to come back and be well. I think Reynolds is going to be a good play here, especially when you have Jared Goff in these plus matchups. The Lions defense still struggling. I think you're going to have Lions in these bigger score games. And then Marvin Mims is another rookie. So Reynolds is somebody that I would put a little like $7 to $11 piece on, depending on what you need. I think Reynolds is an actually kind of sneaky play here. Marvin Mims is another play. He just hasn't gotten the snaps. The problem with him is he's going to be put on a roster. Him and Mingo are put on rosters that are just not a great offensive output right at this point. So that's what are just struggling. Devontae Parker had a really good week too. Again, nothing on week one. So I think Devontae Parker could be another sneaky ad. Somebody in New England, if Mac Jones is going to be somewhat competent, besides Hunter Henry, who we're going to talk about, I think Devontae Parker could be an ad here. Rashid Shaheed is another ad that I've been pounding the fist saying, hey, if you have, he should be rostered in a lot of leagues as well. The tight ends here, Hunter Henry, probably gone, but if he's not, he's an ad. Laporta, again, probably gone. But you have to look at here. Hayden Hurst is another option, or Luke Musgrave is another option as well at the tight end. I'm not putting up a ton of money, but these are again tight ends that have been doing very well lately. The last sleeper type of maybe just maybe a 1 week fill-in, and sometimes you just need a 1 week fill-in, especially if you're a Barkley owner. Tony Jones Jr. We don't know about Kendre Miller. We don't know. Jamal Williams hurt. Kamara's not back until week 4. We have this 1 week window. It's a 1 week window, but Tony Jones might actually be a start. Like a Zach Moss 1 week's type of start. We actually saw him score last week anyway, so on Monday night. So I think we haven't really got to summarize Monday night, but I think that is a very sneaky ad. And again, some of these quarterbacks that we've talked about, Brock Purdy has been really solid. He usually gets a touchdown in here for you. Jared Goff has been a really good streamer as well. And so, let me know what your questions are. Let me know what your questions are over the next few bit here, and then I'll be able to kind of answer those questions, all right? Peace out. We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be talking some more football for week 3 already.